Hi everybody, thank you for joining me today. For this month's creative video, I was actually going to focus on some lettering and do a small lettering tutorial. Namely, I was going to teach you how to do ribbon lettering. So if you already know how to do modern calligraphy and you just learned and you want to make it more fun, I'm going to show you how to make your calligraphy look like a ribbon. So for today, I'm going to be using a Strathmore mixed media paper, but with a vellum surface so that I protect my brush pens. I have a variety of Tombow colors that I'm going to be using, just so you don't have to watch me use the same shade over and over again. And then I'm also going to be using the Tombow blender brush as well as a Tombow water brush so that you can see the difference between the two. And then for the outlines, I'm going to be using my mono drawing pens that I pretty much use for everything. So I've already cut the paper to size. So let's start the process. So we're going to start with purple. I'm using a 603 and a 606. You're going to want to put your lighter color down first. That way you're better able to blend. If you put the darker color down first, then you're not going to see the lighter color. So I'm over exaggerating the letters a little bit just so that you can actually see see the process of ribbon lettering. So next up, we're going to go in and we're going to take a pencil, and for my pencil I'm using a lead holder, a Prismacolor lead holder, but you can use any pencil, just make sure to keep it very, very light. So what you're going to do next is you want to mark down where the folds of your ribbon are going to come through. So now that can be relatively easy if you consider this line and just cross over that line. So for example, there, you'll want to add shadows in there. There's your twist. There's going to be a shadow in here. And then if you follow this curve, that's where you're going to put your shadow in there. And then I want to keep that guy bigger, so the next shadow is going to be in there. And you're going to go down in here, and that's where you're going to add your next shadow. And curve up, shadow, shadow. Okay, let me zoom in for you so that you can see a little bit better. Okay, so again, I put them in there. That's where the next shadows are going to be. And there are the next shadows. Through there are the next shadows. I'm putting this guy on top. And so there will be the next shadow. Down here again. And up here. Okay. You can go in and you can use your drawing pen right away. It just depends on what the pen is made out of. So if you're using a water-based pen, it's going to smear as well. So that's why I'm using caution first and doing pencil first. So once you've determined where you're going to be adding your shadows, you can take a darker color. In this case, it's the Tombow 606. And just gently go in and add some color. Okay, so caution, again, I was very cautious first, just adding in little bits of dark color because you can always go back in and add more color, but you can't take it away. So now I'm going to use the blender pen first so that you can get an idea of what the blender pen looks like with the blending. So what's great about this method is that you just drag the dark color in for as much as you want, because that way you are able to get that shadow or the shadowing effect that you want. For example, if you consider that this piece of the ribbon is more in the back versus the front, then you're going to want to add more shadow or more depth to the color, and you can just pull color out as much as you need. It'll make more sense once you've seen the finished letter. Just gonna clean the tip off. So what's great about the Tombos is that the tips are self-cleaning, so you can just scratch off there. Okay. Oops. And I frayed it. I pushed too hard. Okay. So what I'm doing now is I'm just going in and blending it out so that it's more of a gradual blend versus an abrupt blend. Once you think you're happy, you can go in with your drawing pen. Oh, I have some crud on my pen from a previous project. Okay. And now we're just going to go in and add the border. So you can look at your letter overall and decide if you wanted to add any more elements. So for example, if you wanted to just add a little bit more darker shading right where the ribbons cross, you can go in and do that. And so that is how you do a ribbon calligraphy with the blender pen. And now I'm going to show you how to do it with the water pen. Again, nothing much is going to change in terms of where you're putting your crossover bar, but it's going to be with the water pen instead. So you're going to want to blend everything to get that watercolor effect versus just blending in the colors where you're seeing your shadows. Now again, I was very conservative with how I used my darker shades, so you can always go in and use more if you wanted it to be darker. Next colors I'm going to use for you are pink. I decided to stick with Easter colors so that they're most in your mind while you're practicing your ribbon lettering. And so a real live version of me using ribbon lettering would be an example in my last March, my mid-March bullet journal setup. So again, you can mark out where you want your crossovers. So there, I don't know why my pink was just so thin, I didn't apply enough pressure. There, and there. Okay, and sorry, that was a 723, and now I'll be going in with a 743. Again, I'm going to go in very conservatively, just because you can always add color, but you can't take it away. It's a lesson I still have to learn with colored pencils. So again, it's a Tombow water brush that I'm using. So you're going to want to be careful what surface you use this on, because it's going to get very saturated with ink. Now, whether you use the water brush or the blender pen, it doesn't matter. It's still your page could still pill if you use the wrong surface. If you're doing this in your planner, I would suggest you go very light-handed when you're doing your blending. So there's your M with the water brush. And now I will do a full lettering project for you using the ribbon lettering, and then I'll add some finishing touches with a white jelly roll. Thank you for watching today. I hope you enjoyed.